Good morning, I'm Gretchen Hall. We're coming live this Thursday, the second day of October, bringing you Morning Matters because your mornings matter. Let's get to the stories that matter today. The fatalities in Cebu have jumped to 72 after Tuesday's 6.9 magnitude quake. Nearly 50,000 families are now dealing with the aftermath. We'll be reaching out for an update on the ground shortly. The Senate passed a resolution calling for the International Criminal Court to put former President Duterte under house arrest. Now, despite this, ICC Assistant Counsel Attorney Cristina Conti maintained the resolution is irrelevant to the Hague proceedings. And perfect timing makes winning taste better. Jessica Sanchez proved this after her victory on America's Got Talent Season 20. Stay tuned as she will be joining us here on Morning Matters. Welcome to our program, Morning Matters, where we talk about the issues you need to know for the rest of your day. Now, first in the agenda, the death toll from the magnitude 6.9 earthquake in Cebu has now risen to 70. Many residents are forced to sleep outdoors, fearing aftershocks. More in this report.
A fast food restaurant in Bogo City collapsed and was destroyed by the strong tremor. Glass panels shattered and debris rained down in another eatery in the city. Even Bogo City Hall sustained major damage along with a series of establishments that caved in. Roads cracked open, showing just how strong the 6.9 magnitude quake was last night. Outside the Bogo Hospital, mats were laid on the ground where the bodies of the victims were lined up. One by one, more body bags arrived. Among them, a child. Families wept as they struggled to identify their loved ones. Resident Eliza Ho lost her father, who had just celebrated his birthday. She said he hugged her sibling to shield them when a landslide struck after the quake.
Wala na ako, Papa. Hindi ko kayo mahusaon ako pag-explain sa iya, ha. Laham na ko, Papa. Laham na ko. Hindi ko kayo mahusay kung buhato na wala na siya.
Margie Baterna meanwhile lost her mentor.
Lasa na ito na mo nga. Bakak, yakatawa.
Beside the bodies were the injured, some of them treated outside because of the lack of hospital space. Search and retrieval operations continue.
Like for example, kanina yung anak tsaka yung father. Siyempre, yung father as an instinct, talagang hinag na yung anak niya. Yun namang last na nakita natin kanina sa Sitio Balibag, yung mother tsaka yung dalawang anak niya maliit. Ganun pa rin yung situation.
In Medellin town, residents stayed in open fields, setting up makeshift shelters to avoid the dangers of aftershocks. Vice President Sara Duterte visited Medellin to bring assistance to survivors. Authorities say the death toll could still rise as search operations continue. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Now let's check on the situation in Daan Bantayan, Cebu. We have mobile journalist Arles de los Santos joining us on the ground. Magandang umaga sa iyo, Arles. Nasaan ka ngayon at anong latest mula dyan?
Magandang umaga, Gretchen. Nandito tayo ngayon sa Daang Bantayan, no? Isa nga ito sa mga lugar kung saan tinamaan o naramdaman ang magnitude 6.9 na lindol noong Martes ng gabi, no, dito sa Cebu. Isa yan sa mga dahilan kung bakit nga ang buong probinsya ay nasa ilalim na ngayon ng state of calamity. Kung makikita ninyo sa aking likuran, no, ay mayroong mga malalaking tipak ng bato na nanggaling dito mismo sa isang simbahan ng Santa Rosa de Lima Church. Ito ay pinaniniwalaan na mula 1886 pa, no, ang simbahan na ito na nakatayo at mayroon na itong edad na nasa 167 na taon na nakatayo rito at isa ito sa mga pinakamatatandang simbahan dito. Kaya naman ikinalulungkot ng kanilang mga residente dito maging ng kanilang parish priest mismo, no, ang pangyayari na ito dahil ayon sa kanila ay nakagugulat nitong pangyayaring lindol na napakalakas na kanilang naramdaman. At kahit yung pari raw mismo nga na nagpa-facilitate nitong simbahan dito ay patulog na sana noong nangyari itong pagyanig, no? Kaya naman ngayon na ganito na kinahatnan ng kanilang lugar at ng kanilang simbahan ay labis ang kanilang kalungkutan.
Hoy Les, ito nga yung nag-viral na video na nakita natin, pero meron bang nasaktan sa loob o wala talagang tao?
So far, Gretchen, wala namang tao ang naitatalapang nasak dito, no? At kung nakikita ninyo, ay meron na ring linya dito, parang color yellow na kung saan nga sa buong premise nitong simbahan na ito ay walang maaaring pumasok. Dito sa labas na kung saan pati nga yung kalsada ay hindi na matadaanan pati doon sa loob mismo ng simbahan. Meron pa nga itong katabi na simbahan dito na mas maliit kung saan doon muna nila kanilang isinasagawa ang kanilang misa.
Nakakaramdam pa rin ba ng aftershocks dyan? At kamusta ang mga residente?
Kagabi Gretchen, nang dumating tayo, no, medyo malayo man mula sa airport ay bumiyahe pa rin tayo at nakita natin talaga no, na yung mga kalsada dito ay talagang mga nakaangat, parang mga nakanganga na parang pinunit at talagang malubak yung ilang mga daanan dito na medyo nahirapan tayo doon dahil kahit yung signal ng cellphone ay mahina rito, no? Swerte lamang tayo dito ngayon dahil mas nakahanap tayo ng lugar na mayroong stable connection, pero sa pag-ikot natin dito mamaya sa paghanap pa ng ibang mga kalagayan ng ating mga kababayan ay sigurado na magpuputol-putol muli ang ating signal. At kagabi, no, kahit nga kami personally ay nahirapan na makahanap ng kwarto na matutuluyan, kaya sa sasakyan na lang muna tayo na natili at naghanap ng iba pang mga pangyayari at mga bagay na makikita natin dito. Kaya nakita din natin, Gretchen, yung mga residente mismo na talagang natutulog sa kalsada at naglalatag na lamang ng mga folding bed at ang iba nga ay naglalagay na lamang ng mga banig at ng mga karton dahil daw ang kanilang pangamba baka magkaroon pa rin ng mga paggalaw o lindol nga na masundan pa ito at baka daw matabunan sila sa loob ng kanilang bahay. Dahil ayun nga, nasa tala ng Cebu NDRMC na umabot na nga sa 72 ang naitalang patay at nasa 47,000 ang mga pamilya na ang naapektuhan nito at nasa mahigit 20,000 ang kasalukuyang displaced. Sa tala ng PHIVOLCS ay nasa mahigit 2,300 ang naitalang aftershock matapos ang 6.9 magnitude na lindol noong Martes.
Let's help us understand this earthquake and how often it happens there in that part of Cebu. Nabalitaan ko parang this is like once in many years, no? It's been a long time since this happened. At gaano ka lapit dyan mula kung nasaan ka dun sa focal point ng mismong earthquake?
Yung epicenter ng lindol, Gretchen, ay nasa Bogo City, no? Dito pa rin sa Cebu yan. Magkalapit na munisipalidad ito dito. At kung makikita nga natin doon ay talagang mas malala yung mga naging epekto sa mga infrastruktura, no? Pero talking about this earthquake, no, ito daw ang pinakamalakas na lindol na tumama sa Northern Cebu sa tala ng kanilang kasaysayan. At ayon sa PHIVOLCS ay nasa 400 years na nga mula ng huling natatandaan na nagkaroon ng ganitong lindol. Sa ating pananaliksik, 1885, no, at 2013 ang kanilang huling naramdaman na ganitong mga lindol. Notable dito yung nangyari nga doon sa Negros Oriental noong 2012 at sa Bohol noong 2013 kung saan ang ilan sa mga infrastruktura dito sa Cebu ay kasama rin sa mga naapektuhan. Pero yung sa Cebu City mismo na nangyari ay hindi raw nila naaalala yung epicenter at yung ganito kagrabe na mga pangyayari at yung mga pagyuga mismo na umabot pa nga ng intensity 7. Kaya naman labis ang kanilang pagkagulat sa kanilang naranasan at yung mga residente ay talagang umiiyak. Maging yung Cebu Provincial Hospital ay nung unang nangyari itong lindol at isinagawang mga rescue operation ay talagang napakaraming mga residente doon. At kahit sa pagpunta natin kagabi ay mayroon pa ring mga pasyente na nananatili sa labas ng mga ospital at naghihintay na magamot dahil may bahagi rin ng emergency room na naapektuhan at nasira nitong lindol.
Oo, so punong-puno yung mga ospital ngayon. Tama ba?
Tama, Gretchen, no? At kahit nga yung mga naghihintay na magpagamot, hindi natin sigurado kung katulad ba ng mga sitwasyon ng ospital dito sa Cebu yung nangyayari sa Maynila. Pero so far kasi dito ay nagkaroon ng kalamidad at maraming ang mga residente ang nangangailangan ng agad na gamutan at yung mga first aid, no, na tinatawag nga natin.
Oo. Kung yung nasa likod mo na simbahan naging ganyan, kamusta naman yung mga bahay? Kung 1885 pa last nangyari yung earthquake dyan, what does it look like right now? At wala rin bang kuryente? How are people coping with that?
Doon sa Bogo, Gretchen, no, kung saan nga yung epicenter nitong lindol, ay kagabi napakadilim ng napakaraming mga eskinita doon. Ayon sa mga residente, may mga bahagi na brownout na talaga. Yung iba mga naka-solar power lamang ang source ng kanilang mga kuryente para mayroon pa rin liwanag kahit papaano. Pero yung karamihan ng mga area ay talagang madidilim Kaya kahit yung pag-navigate natin sa labas-masok ng mga daan ay mahirap dahil yung mga banggit mo nga kanina ng mga kalsada na parang bumuka, nagpapahirap sa atin para makapasok at makapaglipat-lipat ng iba't ibang mga lugar. Yung ibang mga tahanan ay talagang gumuho, no? At kasama nga dyan yung hotel na dapat nating pamamalagian. Pagdating namin doon, kinagulat na lang namin na yung pangalan mismo nakapatong sa isang sasakyan yung pangalan ng kanilang hotel at sabi namin, saan kami mananatili dito? At hindi namin alam na ganito na pala yung sitwasyon nito. At yung katabi lamang nun mismo ay mayroong sasakyan na natabunan na din ng gusali na tumumba doon. At napakarami pang mga bahay kahit mga establishmento, mga
So
fast
maraming
food chain.
mga poste na nahulog din, kaya walang kuryente at signal dyan ngayon. Yun
Tama,
ang
Gretchen. Yun ang tinitignan natin. At bukod pa nga dyan, syempre, manipis. Nakakuha tayo ng balita kagabi na manipis ang source ng supply ng kuryente dito, no? Dahil nga itong may state of calamity na rin dito, inaasahan na susunod-sunod pa nalalabas ang mga problema rito.
Okay. Alam ko na dapat yung pinaka-crucial dyan ay yung unang 24 hours, no? Pagdating sa earthquake, kailangan kumbaga parang all-out effort in looking for survivors. So how is that going? How are the rescue operations going?
Sa ngayon, Gretchen, ay nagpapatuloy yung search and rescue operations dito, no? At yung kinalulungkot natin ay yung mga biglaang pagtangis ng mga pamilya na nawawalan ng kanilang kamag-anak. Actually, dito lamang, no, sa Daang Bantayan at sa Medellin, kung saan kasama sa mga nakalista ng mga lugar dito na nagkaroon ng mga casualty, meron tayong narinig na magkapatid na magkasama na naipit ng kanilang dingding na matapos nga nitong paglindol. At meron pa ditong ilang mga bata na kasama din daw sa mga naapektuhan at nadaganan nga nitong mga pagyanig na nangyari dito. Kaya ikinalulungkot din yan, no, ng kanilang lokal na pamahalaan dito. Pero inaasahan natin na katulad ng kahapon, no, nandito na sina Secretary Vince Dizon at ang DSWD at ngayong araw ay inaasahan natin ang pagdating ni PBBM para magkaroon ng personal na pag-inspeksyon sa gravity ng nangyari na paglindol dito nga sa Cebu.
May nakausap ka bang from NDRRMC at nakikita mo ba sila dyan sa Daan Bantayan?
Sa ngayon, Gretchen, wala mga NDRRMC dito na nakikita natin. At so far, mas peaceful nga rito, no? Kasi yung mga residente ay patuloy sa kanilang buhay sa araw-araw dahil hindi ito ang naging epicenter ng naging lindol. Kaya mamaya-maya sa pag-ikot natin sa Bogo, kung saan nga nakita natin ang talagang pinakamalalaki ng mga infrastruktura na tumumba, ay mas makita pa natin ang epekto at yung seryoso na epekto nitong lindol na ito.
Okay. So yung just to summarize, no, yung pinaka-apektado ng earthquake na ito ay yung northern part ng Cebu province. Kasama doon yung Daan Bantayan, Medellin, San Remigio at Bogos City. Yun lang ba yung pinaka-apektado?
Tama ka dyan, Gretchen, no? Pero kasi hindi pa rin sigurado daw kung magkano ang naging epekto nga nito o yung mga nasirang infrastruktura, yung mga bahay at syempre iba pa yan sa trabaho ng mga tao ngayon na hindi bumabalik at hindi pa makabalik sa normal. Pati nga yung mga estudyante dito ay walang pasok dahil yung mga ilang pasilidad ng kanilang paaralan ay bumigay din at syempre yung pundasyon ng mga building na ito ay delikado para sa mga bata lalo pa at nakararanas pa rin ng aftershock dito.
Bilang panghuli, Les, ano bang kailangan ng mga residente dyan sa iyong pagtatanong, no? For those who want to send relief, ano yung kailangan?
Sa pakikipanayam natin, Gretchen, dito, syempre dahil nandito tayo sa parokya, dito sa Santa Rosa at de Lima Church, no? Syempre, ayon kay Father, ay syempre panalangin na sila ay makabangon muli sa hamon na ito dahil hindi raw talaga nila ito inaasahan at ikinagulat talaga nila ang pangyayari na ito. Pero bukod pa dyan, dahil nga nakailalim na sa state of calamity itong lugar na ito, no, ng probinsya ng Cebu, nangangailangan sila ng mas marami pang mga tulong at mas mabilis na mga relief goods dahil yung ilan talaga sa mga kababayan natin ay nahihirapan makadiskarte ng kanilang mga pagkain at makatawid sa kanilang pang-araw-araw at hindi pa raw ito agad-agad matatapos dahil maaaring magkaroon ng aftershock sa mga susunod na araw, linggo o maging buwan pa man.
So pagkain and sustenance for the meantime na naantala itong mga trabaho ng ating mga kababayan dyan. But sana wag na dumagdag mga numero na nabanggit mo. As of now, 72 dead and 47,000 injured. Is that correct?
47,000 affected families.
Affected families, all right.
And then yung individuals naman ay nasa 100,000 na mga residente ang apektado niya.
Okay. Abangan ka namin sa mga updates mo dyan. In the meantime, maraming salamat for giving us the situation this morning. As Les has reported, this is the first time in 400 years that the northern part of Cebu province has experienced this tremendous of an earthquake. Maraming salamat. Mag-ingat ka dyan. We have our mobile journalist Arlis de los Santos reporting to us live from Daan Bantayan, Cebu. Meanwhile, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology said the magnitude 6.9 earthquake that struck Cebu was considered relatively strong. PHIVOLC's Seismology Division Chief Dr. Winchell Sevilla noted that residents should brace for more tremors in the coming days or even months as aftershocks continue. He also clarified that the earthquake is not related to the recent eruption of Taal volcano in Batangas. Sevilla further explained that Cebu and nearby provinces lie in a seismically active zone with several active fault lines, making the region prone to strong earthquakes.
Yung probinsya po ng Cebu at kanya pong mga neighboring provinces like Negros, Bohol, Leyte, ito po ay seismically active region. In the sense po, marami po kasi ditong mga faults. Ito pong mga active faults. Sila po yung paggalaw po nila, sila po yung nag-generate ng mga earthquakes. Common po dito yung mga earthquakes dahil po sa mga faults. Kaya napakahalaga po sa ating pong mga kababayan na lagi po sanang maging handa para po sakali man pong magkakaroon po uli ng mga earthquakes. Huwag naman po sana ay iwasan po natin yung posibleng harm na madudulot nito.
When we return, a Senate resolution urges International Criminal Court to order house arrest for former President Rodrigo Duterte. But the question is, does this resolution actually hold weight for the ICC? We'll get to know that when Morning Matters returns. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. The Senate has adopted a resolution urging the International Criminal Court to place former President Rodrigo Duterte under house arrest. More in this report.
Former President Rodrigo Duterte has been detained for over 6 months at the International Criminal Court Detention Facility in The Hague, Netherlands. This is in connection with alleged crime against humanity linked to his controversial war on drugs. Yesterday, Duterte's allies in the Senate filed a resolution urging the ICC to grant him house arrest. The measure passed with 15 votes in favor, 3 against, and 2 abstentions. It was introduced by Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano and Majority Leader Mig Zubiri and sponsored by Senators Bato de la Rosa, Robin Padilla, Amy Marcos Rodante Marcoleta, Bongo, Jinggoy Estrada, and Joel Villanueva. All of them voted yes, alongside Senators Sherwin Gatchalian, J.V. Ejercito, Loren Legarda, Ping Lacson, Erwin Tulfo, and Mark Villar.
For us as a nation, I cannot imagine what the country will do if something, I don't want to say it, but if something happens with him in the detention center at wala man tayong ginawa.
Ako'y nakikiusap na sana isang tabi muna natin ang politika at ating paghariin sa ating puso ang ating pagiging Pilipino na kung saan nakaukit sa ating kultura at sa ating tradisyon ang pagmamahal, pagrespeto, pag-aruga sa mga matatanda, sa may mga sakit, at sa mga mahihina. Yan po ngayon si Pangulong Duterte. He is old, he is sick, and he is very weak. Very weak na hindi na siya makatayo. Hirap na siya makatayo ngayon. Kaya ako pinakiusap sa inyo na sana, bago huli ang lahat,
Those who voted against the measure were Senators Risa Hontiveros, Kiko Pangilinan, and Bam Aquino. Pangilinan said that the cries for justice from thousands of victims of extrajudicial killings must take precedence.
May basehan din yung daing at yung dalamhati at yung masasaktan na libo-libo nating mga kababayan na pinatay. Bilang chairman ng Committee on Justice and Human Rights, nais ko mang pumanig sa isang banda. Tungkulin kong pumanig sa mga daing ng naghahanap ng hustisya.
Senate President Tito Soto abstained, saying he did not want to disrespect the family of victims. Senator Raffy Tulfo also abstained, citing a lack of proof of Duterte's illness.
I am supportive of any efforts to bring comfort to PRRD and to uplift his well-being during this crucial time. However, my choice or decision in my conscience might even help in further dividing the nation. Therefore, I register an abstention.
It should be proven na meron po siyang sakit. Kasi yung po yung lumalabas sa balita na may sakit po siya, matanda na siya, hindi siya kumakain, hindi siya nakakatulog. Then, if it's true, I'll cast my vote as yes. Pero without proof na yun nga talaga ang totoong pangyari, then I will abstain.
Senators Camille Villar, Lito Lapid, Cheese Escudero, and Pia Cayetano were not in the session hall when the chamber voted. However, International Criminal Court Assistant to Counsel Attorney Cristina Conti said that the Senate resolution carries no weight in the Hague proceedings. Conti stressed that the CC will only weigh factual and legal arguments in deciding on Duterte's request for adjournment. She further warned that the move could even backfire as the ICC may interpret it as an attempt to undermine its independence.
Thank you, Madam President.
The Independent Commission for Infrastructure will summon former Speaker Martin Romualdez, former lawmaker Elizalde Co, and Senator Mark Villar in its corruption probe. Co is accused of padding the budget and demanding huge kickbacks, while Villar faces possible conflict of interest over billions in contracts awarded to his cousin. Romualdez, meanwhile, has been linked to alleged cash deliveries, though he denies the charges. The ICI earlier recommended cases against Co as investigations into anomalous flood control projects continue. In weather, Paulo has intensified into a tropical storm, that's according to Pag-asa. Its center was last located approximately 705 kilometers east of Infanta, Quezon. The storm is forecast to make landfall over Isabela or northern Aurora by tomorrow morning and may intensify further into a severe tropical storm or typhoon before moving over the West Philippine Sea. Tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 has been raised in several parts of Luzon, including Cagayan, Isabela, Quirino, and other northern provinces. And joining us now to talk more about the weather, we have Pag-asa specialist Benny Estareja. Magandang umaga sa iyo, Benny.
Good morning po, gayon din sa ating mga taga-subaybay.
Benny, unang-una, ano ang nakikita natin dito kay Paulo? At magiging maulan ba ang araw na ito at pati ang weekend?
For today po, yung pinakang-uulanin natin ng mga lugar itong Luzon, lalo na yung eastern sides, and expected na po na nararamdaman na dito sa may parting northern Bicol yung hangin at mga pag-ulan dulot ng si Bagyong Paulo. And by tomorrow, ito yung time kung saan posibleng maglandfall in the morning itong si Bagyong Paulo, either sa may Isabela or northern Aurora. And then afterwards, from morning tomorrow hanggang sa evening, it will cross itong Cagayan Valley, Cordillera region, Ilocos region, most of central Luzon, and then lalabas siya ng ating PARPO pagsapit ng morning ng Saturday.
Okay, so ngayon, anong chances niya na maging bagyo siya, maging typhoon?
For now, it's tropical storm category. Within 24 hours, it will expect to intensify pa as a severe tropical storm. And yung typhoon chance niya, before maglandfall, hindi pa rin natin i-rule out. Pero mas mataas yung chance, yan po ay kapag nakalabas na ng ating PAR. So nonetheless naman yung expected na lakas ng hangin from Paulo tomorrow during its crossing is more or less 100 kilometers per hour.
And anong mas babantayan natin dito? Yung hangin ba o yung ulan na dala?
Both. With slight focus lang sa ulan kasi kadalasan po kapag meron tayong mga kabundukan, enhance yung rainfall, lalo dun sa mga mountainous areas nga dito sa may Cordillera, sa may Sierra Madre, Calabarzon Mountains. So nandyan yung mataas na chance ng mga pagguho ng lupa. And yung mga nasa low-lying areas, yung mga malapit sa mga sapa at ilog, mataas yung chance po dun sa may norte na umapaw yung mga kailugan po dun, no? Lalo na yung Cagayan River. So magbantay lamang po sa ating mga heavy rainfall warnings at saka mga flood advisories.
Okay. So ano ang natin, ang advice natin ngayon na doon sa areas na tatamaan itong tropical storm?
Yung patuloy na advice natin sa ating mga kababayan doon is makapag-ugnayan sa inyong mga local government units, local disaster risk reduction and management offices. Kung kailangan po ng evacuation, gawin na po nila ngayon kasi bukas na yung pag-cross nitong si Bagyong Paolo dito sa may northern Luzon ngayon na rin yung time. Actually, may mga times pa naman na maaraw pa naman dito sa may norte. So, i-reinforce na yung kanilang mga bahay at ihanda na laban sa mga malalakas na hangin at ulan.
So bukas, ang pagdaan nitong tropical storm sa Luzon Island, pagdating ng weekend, pagkatapos ng bukas, ay wala na, no? Nakalabas na. Tama ba?
Yes, by Saturday morning, outside bar na po siya. Then pagsapit ng Sunday is wala namang in-expect na panibagong sama ng panahon.
Hindi ba minsan may mga tropical storm tayo, Benny, na bumabagal o bumabalik o nagre-remain over yung remain over land? What are the chances of that happening?
Kung pagbabasihan naman natin yung mga previous forecast tracks nitong si Bagyong Paolo, consistent naman siya or hindi naman siya yung parang pasaway na bagyo na nag-iiba-iba ng track, no? So, hopefully in the future forecast tracks, ganun pa rin naman. Mukhang magiging consistent naman siya dito sa may northern and central Luzon.
All right, so brace yourselves for tomorrow, a rainy Friday, but over the weekend, hopefully the skies clear enough. Maraming salamat para sa iyong update for the latest on Tropical Storm Paolo. We have Pag-asa weather forecaster Benny Estareja. Up next, she is the Filipino-American singer who captured hearts and took home the crown on America's Got Talent Season 20. Stick around to hear from our next guest, the one and only Jessica Sanchez. We'll have her here on Morning Matters when we return. Filipino-American singer Jessica Sanchez recently won America's Got Talent Season 20. Sanchez wowed the global audience with her heartfelt yet powerful rendition of Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga's hit song Die With a Smile, earning a standing ovation despite being 9 months pregnant. Sanchez's victory adds to her impressive track record, having previously competed on America's Got Talent in 2006 at age 10 and finishing as runner-up on American Idol Season 11 in 2012. And to talk more about her incredible journey, we have on the show Filipino-American singer and America's Got Talent champion, Jessica Sanchez. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Matters.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
First of all, congratulations. It is an honor speaking with you. Where are you right now? And what was the first thing that you did when you won?
Well, right now I'm home in Texas, and the first thing I did once they announced my name, I mean, obviously I was just like sobbing. I could not stop crying. I was so overwhelmed with joy. This has been a long time coming for me. So it was such an amazing moment.
But after the competition, what was the first thing you did?
Oh, well, I am 9 months pregnant, so I ate a good meal and then I knocked out.
Well, did you have to go on a diet because of the performances?
Not really a diet. I just was watching what I'm eating, like, sugar and fried food. I'm going more of the natural route for my birth plan. So, I'm trying to maintain a good weight for, labor.
Yeah, but didn't that affect you, all of the hormones and the emotional roller coaster? How did that play into your season and your journey here?
Oh yeah, I tell people all the time, this is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do vocally, emotionally, physically, because my body was just constantly changing. The hormones affected my voice and affected my mood. So I was a lot more sensitive. I was all over the place, but you know, the Lord's strength kept me going. So praise God.
It isn't easy to do what you did, joining back when you were 10 years old and then coming back 20 years later to compete again. What attracted your spirit back to the AGT stage, and when did it come to your mind that you just had to be back?
Yeah, I took a step back from music for a long time. I took a break and to really find myself as an artist, but most importantly as a woman. And it just so happened that, you know, this year I felt peace about coming back and trying it again. And then a couple days later, once I was like, okay, I want to do this again, I find out that I'm pregnant. So I was like, okay, well, you know, we're just going to full send it. We're just going to try and see what the Lord has for me. And then Sophia gave me the golden buzzer, and you know, now here I am as a winner of season 20, and it's just so beautiful and so special to me.
Had you always wanted to come back? I mean, was it unfinished business for you?
I think for me, you know, after taking the break for so long, I was always doubting myself. But for years, you know, before I was like, I do want to come back. I just don't think I'm ready yet. But this year, I was like, I feel peace about it. I want to try it, give it one more shot, and see what the Lord does for me. And I mean, He really showed up and showed out.
I guess I'm asking that because not many will risk losing a competition after topping the Billboard charts, right? And you had done that with Me, You, and the Music, peaking at number 26 on US Billboard 200. What made you, I mean, take on this kind of risk and put yourself under pressure?
Yeah, you know, like I said, I took a break for a long time because, you know, back when I released that album, I was still so young. I was only 16 years old, 17 years old. And I feel like I wasn't really 100% confident of why I was doing music. Like, my purpose wasn't fully there. I feel like I was chasing the dream, but the purpose wasn't truly there. And now, as a grown woman and as a, you know, soon to be mother, I feel like my purpose is a lot deeper than just my dream and accomplishing what I want. I want to impact other people and inspire others. So that's why I go up on stage and perform now. And it means so much more to be able to have that mindset and to be able to have one this year.
At what point in that break did you think that, you know, I need to be back there?
Yeah, I think once I figured out, you know, I had to center myself. I had to be in a very low place and kind of just be away from music for a while and separate Jessica and music because music was my identity. And now music is a big part of my life, but it's not who I am, which is beautiful for me, so I can separate it. It's something I love to do. It's something I choose to do. It's something I'm blessed to do. So once I figured that out and I felt confident and firm in that foundation, I, you know, decided to move forward. And of course, my faith was a huge part of that.
Describe to us the in-between. I mean, when you were 10 and now you're 30, the 20-year, and the period that you had a break, how was that journey for you?
Oh yeah, you know, there was a lot of ups and a lot of downs. You know, like you said, I was on Idol, which was a huge, you know, up for me. But, you know, after that, like I said, I took a break for a while because I got kind of lost in the sauce of, you know, why am I doing this? And am I just chasing, you know, fame and fortune and stuff like that, all of the stuff, the spotlight. And so it was truly the hardest moments in my life that built my character today and made me the woman I am today. And I'm so grateful for that. And I hope that my story can inspire others to prove to them that no matter what you go through, those low moments are beautiful moments and always a big part of the journey. So you can see my story and how far I've come. And I'm so blessed that the outcome was what it was.
It is definitely a story of courage. Taking a break, not many will have the gall or the strength to do that. But you did. Was there anyone guiding you through this?
Well, I always go back to my faith. My faith is my my foundation. I wouldn't have been able to do this without my faith, but of course my support system around me. My husband has been my biggest supporter, and he has believed in me more than I believed in myself. So having that support system, having good people around me was very, very important for me in my downtime when I was not feeling that great about myself and about my career. So my faith and my family.
And you look certainly beautiful performing as a mama. What did your husband say about all of this? I mean, was he scared at seeing you perform out there, strutting your stuff with the sensitivities of a pregnant woman?
Yeah, he has seen how bad I've wanted this. Not just the opportunity, but to be able to feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose. And when I told him I wanted to move forward with this, he was asking me, "Are you sure? Like, I'm here for you if you don't want to do it." And I'm like, "No, I want to do this." And every step of the way, he's been so supportive, and he still praises me to this day, like how I don't even know how she did it. Honestly, I don't even know how I did it. But he's just so supportive, and he's just the most amazing man. I'm so grateful for our marriage, and like I said, family and faith have been the most important foundations for me. So I'm just so grateful.
And speaking of family, you now have a name for your baby, Eliana May. Why that name?
Okay, so I wanted like a really meaningful name, and a name that I haven't really heard much before. And I came to Eliana because in Hebrew it means, I believe it means my God is answered. And, for a long time I've been praying to God about my career, and, I kind of felt like, is this what the Lord wants for me? And just going back and forth, crying and praying. And I feel like this year he's really made a statement to me, not only in my career, but also in my personal life, bringing me into like motherhood now. So I feel like it's just the perfect name for her. It's a beautiful name. So.
It is
Yeah.
a beautiful name. And you can also tell her when she comes out or grows up that she was your lucky charm. And she was with you in this journey the whole time. And who else would have that honor? But I wanted to go to your performances on AGT. Was it already in your mind the songs that you'd perform when you come back to the AGT stage, or was this something that you worked on with the production?
Yeah, so it was like a mix of both because, preparing for the live shows, I did, really meticulously pick the Ordinary. And I was thinking about like, okay, if I make it to the semifinals, what would be another good song, So I was thinking about Golden Hour. But I did have the help of my band to help me come up with these amazing arrangements for the songs, because I didn't want to go up there and not do the song justice. I wanted to make my own rendition, and I hope that, people received that well, because I didn't have a lot of time to work with those songs, but a lot of I got a lot of great feedback, so I feel really happy about it.
And how is the process like working with the producers of America's Got Talent, and how different is this show compared to American Idol?
Oh yeah, I feel like it was so different because, one, American Idol is a singing show, and then America's Got Talent is so many different talents. And honestly, everybody on set, all the crew, the producers, they were all so amazing and so accommodating to me, always asking, "Are you okay? Do you want to sit down?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." So they were super, super sweet and super helpful in all kinds of ways. But yeah, being up against different talents was like a whole nother beast, because when you're singing against somebody, it's just like the different techniques. But this time it's like people are flying in the air, doing dangerous things, and, bringing comedy and magic. And so it was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of amazing people and amazing talents. And yeah, it was just a really special experience.
What was your strategy to stand out amongst the 4 other competitors? There was a freestyle comedian, rapping comedian, another singer, the school choir, and an electroluminescent performer. When coming into the competition, how did you find your edge? Is AGT about the total performance? Or, comparing it to American Idol, where singing prowess is the one that's being judged?
Yeah, I feel like it was definitely different because you have different acts, and it was a little bit harder because instead of looking at a different singer, you're like, oh, okay, like they're doing all these techniques. You're looking at a completely different act, and you honestly can't compare yourself to another act. Like those people were amazing doing what they did, and even the other singers were phenomenal, and everybody was special and talented in their own way. So it was definitely different, and it was definitely harder, I would say. I guess the only thing that I did was just trust that, the Lord had me there for a reason, and I did the best that I could, especially with the circumstances of being so pregnant. And I just gave it all I got, and it was special for me because I had my daughter there on stage with me.
So in a way, this competition is less pressure, gives you less pressure. Because you don't have to you can't measure yourself up with the next person or the next performer in line.
Yeah, I think it's just mindset. I think it's perspective, because some people will say it's harder because how can I go up against somebody that's literally doing crazy stuff in the air and
Yeah.
And also it was harder for me because I'm doing this, challenging myself, kind of reteaching myself how to sing, being so pregnant. So like I said, it was probably one of the most challenging things I've ever had to do. But, I trusted the Lord in the beginning of it, trusting his plan for me. And I just was like, you know what, I'm just going to go out there, do the best that I can. And, I'm glad that everybody at home saw that fight in me to stand out.
Did the being pregnant affect your voice? What were the greatest physical and mental challenges pregnancy brought you?
Definitely. I mean, even now when I'm talking, I feel like I'm losing breath. I feel like my lung capacity is not the same. And also I read that like your hormones can affect your vocal folds and your vocal cords. And I definitely can feel like the raspiness a little bit more. And yeah, mainly it's the breathing part, because I need a lot of breath to kind of like dig deep and get those notes out, and not being able to because she's pushed up against my diaphragm has been the most challenging thing. And it was really discouraging in the middle of the live shows for me because my voice was not cooperating. But like I said, I prayed and I cried a little bit and I just trusted the Lord, and I was like, I'm going to go up there, I'm going to do the best that I can, and it's in your hands.
You sang Beautiful Things for your audition. Why that song? And how did you feel after that golden buzzer from Sofia Vergara?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wanted to do a song that nobody really expected me to do. I feel like everybody's heard me sing the big diva songs, right? Like the Whitney Houston and the Mariah Carey, Celine Dion stuff. I feel like I wanted to change it up and show people my creativeness and show them that I could make these songs that are amazing, like pop radio songs, vocally challenging, a little bit more vocally challenging, and with a female twist. So that's why I picked that song, and it is a beautiful song lyrically too. Once Sophia hit that golden buzzer, I was just in shock. My husband was like, "You're gonna get the golden buzzer," and I was like, "I don't know, we'll see." Especially after announcing that I was pregnant, I was like, "I don't know if they're gonna want a pregnant lady on this stage later down the road." But I was just like, I'm going to be completely myself. I'm going to be honest and just authentic. I did my best, and Sophia hit that golden buzzer, and I was just like so grateful. Throughout the season, she would come up on stage and rub my belly, and she was just the sweetest. So I always love to say thank you, Sophia, because she was a huge part of why I was able to go through this experience.
Is she your favorite judge?
Oh my God, they're all so amazing. But she hit that golden buzzer for me, and she is my girl. Yes, she is my favorite judge.
You sang Die With a Smile for the finale. And what did that song mean to you?
Oh, yeah. So for Die With a Smile, right after semifinals, every single live show, I was not sure if I was going to be moving forward. So when I got to the finals, I had to kind of pick a song quickly. This song was something I've always wanted to do. It's such a beautiful song, written and sang by beautiful people. So I'm like, okay, how do I make this already great song, my own? And so that was a little, I was a little panicking a little bit because I wanted to do the song justice. But I think even beyond lyrically, the way that I did my rendition vocally, I poured out, my soft notes and my gritty notes to kind of give everybody the combination of what I presented throughout the show, just to leave it all on the stage, and left it up to America to kind of vote and see if I did the best that I could. So that's kind of why I chose the song. There was elements of, my voice kind of moving the way it did throughout the season in one song.
It shows your versatility and flexibility.
Yes.
And also, of course, your musical prowess. And then that moment when Terry Crews said, "Jessica, you are the new AGT champion." How did that moment feel? And what was the first thing on your mind? What did that mean to you as an artist, as a young girl, as somebody who went through that journey that you just shared with us? How did that moment feel?
I think because I was so broken for such a long time, and I really was questioning God and questioning my life of like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like all of those broken moments and all those prayers that I prayed and those tears that I've cried, like really meant something when he called out my name, because this is something I had been fighting for so long, and I felt like it wasn't for me for such a long time. And once he said my name, I was like, wow, like God really proved something to me, that even through the hardest times, and like, even though I am going through this challenge of being 9 months pregnant, God can do an amazing thing. And all of those years of fighting and pushing to fight for this dream was well worth it. So it meant the world to me. And like I said, I just kept crying. I think Terry asked me at one point, "What do you want to say?" And I'm like, "Thank you, America." Like I was just a mess. I was really soaking up the moment. And then my husband comes up and he's all teary-eyed, which he's never like that. So it was amazing. It was such a moment for me, and it didn't really feel real.
What's next after this? When are you coming home to the Philippines?
So, next big thing for me is becoming a mama, which I'm so excited about. But as far as music,
gotta do labor first.
Yes. But after, I'm writing music. I'm going to be releasing an album and, some original music and songs. And of course, I know that I have so much love and support from the Philippines. So I am going to be out there ASAP. I don't know how long my recovery is going to take, but I am going to be there as soon as I can. I just want to say thank you to, all my Filipino followers. You guys have been such a huge part of my career and my journey, and I can't thank you guys enough for sticking with me, sticking by my side through it all. So thank you, and I hope to see you very, very soon.
Well, if ever, where would you want to go here in the Philippines? Of course, I assume Bataan would be there as your hometown, right?
Yes.
Where else?
Yeah, I think I would really love to travel around the Philippines. I know there's so many beautiful parts of the Philippines that I haven't even heard of or, seen. So I feel like just doing a whole tour around the islands would be amazing. I know that my supporters are everywhere around there. So just to meet them in person, anywhere that they are, would be amazing. And doing small shows, big shows, whatever it is, even just saying hi to the people would be awesome. So I'm hoping that I have some time, like a big gap of time to like spend just time out there to be with the Filipino people.
Well, we're definitely very, very proud of you out here. Jessica, you are a woman, you are a person of color, and we do know it is a challenging time for people like you in America. Your performance, you winning this, sends a strong message. What do you sing for? What is your message for everybody out there looking at you, inspired by your story, and all the Filipino girls out here, and the singers? Your message for them.
Yeah, first off, I decided to pursue this really with a great motivator after I found out that I was pregnant because I wanted to send a message to my daughter as well to never stop believing in herself. And no matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes, your dream is still worth fighting for. So I encourage, every young woman, every young adult, every adults, no matter how old you are, if you have a dream that you believe is still worth fighting for, I believe you should pick yourself up and push through it. It was not easy for me. It was not a super easy road to walk through. It was really, really hard, and I had lots of moments of brokenness and lots of prayer along the way, but it was so well worth it just in that one moment. I feel so much purpose now, and I feel accomplished and in just that one moment. So I hope to inspire those that, have a dream that they're still fighting for. I encourage you to do that because look at my story. This has been 20
Wow.
years
Yes.
in the making. So, keep fighting for it.
Amazing story, amazing message. Thank you so much, Jessica, for coming on with us to share your journey. This is a story of resilience, of faith, of courage, of bouncing back, finding yourself, and proving that you belong on the world stage. And we're definitely so very proud of you. Filipino through and through. We have Jessica Sanchez, America's Got Talent Season 20 champion. Congratulations again. And we look forward to having you here in the Philippines. But for now, we'll let you get absorbed in motherhood. Thank you very much again for joining us. There you have it, folks. Remember to catch more exciting newest TV shows only on Hits Now. That's channel 122 on Signal and also streaming on Signal Play. Catch more of Jessica Sanchez on our channels and we'll watch out for her next chapter. Thank you again for being with us here on the show. In politics, let's go back to that, or in sports rather. The Senate has commended Las Pilipinas after the men's volleyball team made history in their debut at the FIVB World Championship. The Filipinos finished 19th overall, highlighted by an upset win over Egypt and a hard-fought match against Iran. All 24 senators adopted a resolution filed by Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano, praising the team for bringing pride and proving Filipino athletes can shine on the world stage. Lawmakers said the team's success builds confidence for the Philippines hosting of the FIVB Women's Championship in 2029. Meanwhile, Filipina tennis star Alex Ayala pulled off a gritty win to reach the quarterfinals of the Suzhou Open WTA 125 in China. Ayala survived a marathon match against Belgium's Greet Minnen, taking the first set in a tiebreak, dropping the second before sealing victory in the third. With the win, the 19-year-old advances to face Switzerland's Viktorija Golubic in the next round. This is Ayala's fourth straight quarterfinal appearance in a WTA 125 event after Guadalajara, the SP Open, and the Qingshan Open. And all things considered, there are so many things to be grateful for and so many people to be proud of making their mark on the world stage. We have Jessica Sanchez, we have Las Pilipinas, also Alex Ayala. Let's continue to celebrate their victories. And in the meantime, that wraps up today's episode of Morning Matters. We hope you've given you the right start to your morning. Let's go ahead and make the day matter. My name is Gretchen Hall. We are One News, all sides, all the time.